Hey, well, we are live, here with the grown-ups in the industry podcast, here with the very grown-up herself, Queen
Woo!
Diva, Dawn Tallman. And we are so excited to get into this interview this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Yes, yes. You are a true performer, okay? Born to sing and be included with the great vocal divas of your time and beyond, right? You are a legend in your own right, a dance music, house music legend. Okay. And we're so excited to have you here with number one and top 10 hits on the Billboard charts, like number one international hit, Feel the Vibe. Your successes are many. So, what do you feel are the keys to the longevity and success in the industry?
Um, Number one for me is you have to put God first, and you just
Yes.
be true to who you are. Like you just have to be true to who you are, and you have to learn how to grow and how to reinvent
Yes.
yourself. Kind of how to, you know, not that you're like conforming to whatever.
Mhm.
You have to learn how to grow and how to keep progressing and just grow with the time. You know.
Mhm.
So I think for me in this industry almost 30 years, um
Mhm.
of course I'll stay true to who I am always, but then you
Yes.
just as the times go on, you have to just kind of grow with the times. It's like technology,
Mhm.
all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. I've just learned to just go with it. Just go
Yes.
with and keep going. You keep putting God first and keep just rolling with the times.
Yes, you got to keep up no matter what's
Yeah,
going on. You know what I mean? You just got to keep moving,
you
keep it up.
do.
For sure, for sure. I can relate, you know what I mean? I've been doing this podcast only about, a couple of months, but things change in the podcast world all the time. Video podcasts, audio podcasts, all of that. So I definitely can relate to, having to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the times. For
Yeah.
sure. And so, your career has evolved, I'm sure, over the years. I'm sorry?
No, I said the world has ADHD, so you got to
It
move.
does. Yes, you got to just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Sorry
So,
about that.
how has the evolution of your career helped you maintain throughout the years? We talked a little bit about that. You performed on tour with artists like, and written for artists like Patti LaBelle, Casey and JoJo, some of our favorites, Shantae Moore, and many, many others. So, what do you feel is the key to staying relevant, not only in the music industry, but also in the songwriting industry as well?
You just gotta you definitely have to just keep your ear open, and
Yeah.
you do have to listen and listen to what's going on around you. I
Mm-hmm.
still go back to staying true to who you are, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
a believer that when you stay true to who you are and you stay in your lane, things
Yes.
will come to you. That's how I
Yes.
feel. You do have to listen because you don't want to sound like dated or anything like that. But at the same,
Mm-hmm.
you have to stay true to who you are. And I feel like me being who I am as an artist and as a writer, I do stay true to who I am and what I write about, but I
Yes.
also listen to what's new and what's current. And you kind of have
Mm-hmm.
to flow. Once again, you got to move. You got to move
Yes.
with the times, but still stay true to who you are. So.
Right. At your very roots, who God or whoever your higher power
Yeah,
is or whatever
first,
you believe what
yep,
whoever you believe you are at the end of the day, that's what you gotta stay true to. You can't like move and shake, with popular with the trends or whatever. You know what I mean?
only
Gotta
no,
be who you are.
you can't, because what happens is everything. What am I trying to say? If you move with every fad or everything
Hmm.
it's going to die out. Now you're stuck because you wanted to do everything somebody else was doing because it's quote unquote in, and now
Right.
that genre or style has completely died out, and they've
Mm.
moved on. The world, the consumers have moved on to something else, and now you're stuck with that. So you
Yes.
can't. You just gotta stay true. Listen, it's almost been 30 years. I've stayed true to who I am. I've grown as a person and an
Mm.
artist, and staying true
Yes.
to who I am. Um, so that's what's kept me here.
So very true. And so, speaking of like, staying true to who you are, right? As in,
Hmm.
our community in the Black community, we have had to either, kind of like try and fit what somebody else's image of us should be, right? Or really
Yeah.
try and stay true to ourselves and who we are. And recently, we've had a lot of recent recognition with African American performers at major award shows and ceremonies. And these are totally, blackity black people, you know what I mean? The late
Right.
great Chadwick Boseman,
Yeah.
Andra Day, all these great
Um,
talents.
yes.
And I feel like the atmosphere is starting to shift, right? So you are a Grammy nominated singer. Woo woo. Tell us how it
Woo-hoo!
felt when you first heard the news you'd been nominated.
So, I'm really blessed to be a part of so many different projects. I do a lot of backgrounds for a lot of artists, and
Yes.
this particular project that I was a part of um got nominated for a Grammy, which made me a supporting part of
Right.
um, that process. And it was, I think I was in, if I could remember, I think I was on tour in Russia when I got the phone call.
Amen. Hey.
Whoa, like I couldn't believe, I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. I'm like, just giving God praise and just like, you
Yes.
know, glad to be in the number. I mean, a
Yes.
lot can't say that. So it was an honor for me. I really was
Yes.
grateful. I had tears in my eyes, just like, wow, this is God, this is things that I prayed for as a young
Right.
girl. It's coming true. So I was just
So
really grateful.
exciting. So exciting. You had a part in what became something magnificent, and your part, every part is important, right? But when you get Grammy nominated for your part, hey, that's a big deal. We're not gonna take no shine away from that. Okay.
No, listen, that's right. I can say, hey, I'm part of a Grammy nominated project. Hello. Right.
Yes.
Amazing.
Grammy
That
nominated.
yes.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So what draws you? Let's talk a little bit about, your background in dance music and R&B. What draws you to those particular genres, and where do your musical roots come from?
Well, the roots definitely come from church.
Yes.
I did my first concert at 5 years old at church. And,
Hey.
right. And I knew at 5 that this is definitely what I wanted to do. But my
Mm.
foundation definitely church, and I still sing in church every Sunday. I'm a worship leader. Whoop whoop. Shout out to New Hope Baptist.
Hey.
Shout out to Center of Hope. Whoop whoop. So
Woo-hoo.
I what was I saying? See how look I got thrown off. See, that's the old
We were
age.
talking about, your roots in the church and your concert at 5.
That is funny. Yes, no. So the foundation is definitely church. And wait,
Mm.
do we say your question again? 'Cause I got thrown off.
Sure. So my question is, what draws you to dance music and to R&B, and where do your musical roots come from?
So we said church, but really what I'll tell you what really draws me to dance music. When I first heard house music, there's a saying that says house is a feeling. And
Yes.
by the way, I have a single out that's actually called House is a Feeling. Shout out to
Yes.
Juan Coon. It is feeling. It's just
Mm.
something that it felt like church. House music, dance music,
Mm.
it's like church. You singing, you hear the beat, you just feel free.
Yes.
And that's really what drew me to house music, dance
Mm.
music. Just it's just a feeling, it's just a freedom that I know for me that I have when I'm singing and that
Mm.
driving and I'm lifting my hands and the voice is just soaring. I mean, it's
Yes.
R&B is more of a style. Of course,
Mm.
when I was growing up, and we all want to be, sing R&B and be a part of that genre, stuff like that. It
Right.
was cool for me, but house music,
House
it,
music is where it's at.
it's that's home. It really is. It's home.
Home.
Yeah.
So amazing, yes. And so let's talk a little bit about, the music community, younger artists, younger people. How important is it to give back to the community, to mentor and to raise up the ones that are coming behind you? We've had this conversation before, but let's get into it. Let's
Yeah.
get into it a little deeper.
So again, for me, a friend of mine, she always says, and I love that. Like the real community starts after you get. stage. And it's so true. Lights, camera, and action. That's so cool. That's what we love to
Hmm.
do. But the real work, it starts after you step off that stage. And I'm
Yes.
big on community and paying it forward. This is a gift
Yes.
that God's given me. And I'm not just going to keep it. I'm going to share it. um I've been
Yes.
blessed to be a part of so many different projects as far as working with youth and
Hmm.
doing vocal master classes, taking some young artists under my wing,
Hmm.
some young and young men, and just teaching them and showing them, you know, not just voice,
Hmm.
the person, like from inside and out. You have to give back. It's not
Hmm.
just about being, on the stage. This is
Right.
real life. People
Yes.
are going through. People need help. So I
Yes.
want to be part of the community in any way that I
Yes.
can. I love that. I think community is so important. People
Hmm.
are inspired by me. The people are watching me. Like when I don't even know
Hmm.
that they're watching. So I can't be a jerk. I gotta give back. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes, for sure.
that's how I feel. I'm always paying it forward. I'm like the big auntie slash mama, sis. That's who I am.
Yes.
That's what I want to continue to be.
Right. And
So
you definitely, when I first met you, I remember it, you definitely gave out that vibe. Like, this is a sister, this is an auntie, this is, your favorite
yeah,
cousin. You know what I mean? This is that person that you can speak to. And,
yeah,
she'll just give you that good advice. Okay. Nothing but the truth, whether
absolutely.
it comes to industry or otherwise. Right.
That's right.
For sure. So awesome. And so, there's a hot topic going around. There's a post on the Shade Room. Waka Flocka was, he was raising some eyebrows, yesterday. He was talking about his opinion of those who post videos of themselves feeding the homeless or, other big grand acts of charity, right? And he said
Mhm.
for him, I'm paraphrasing, he didn't
Yeah,
need a visual because he lives in the moment, right? He lived the moment. He doesn't need to create this visual or this video of it. He
right.
doesn't want to catch people on video of times we know when they're not doing their best, which is why he never does good deeds on camera. So, what is your take on others who have a certain status, right? And
Mhm.
record the good deeds or acts of charities that they participate and post it on social media?
So for me, it's two sides. I keep saying for me. I don't know why I keep saying that. Uh, it, there's two sides to that.
Right?
I agree on one hand because I feel like if you're really a giver,
Mm-hmm.
you you don't have to boast about it and post about it. But then there
Mm-hmm.
is a side of it where, you know what, your fans and people, they want to
Yes.
see that you're a real person, and they want
Yes.
to see that you're giving back to the community. I don't
Right.
think there's wrong with that. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it should be seen because that listen, I've seen a lot of videos of people giving back, and that has inspired me. So
Yes.
if we hide it all the time, how are we going to be inspired? You know what I
Right.
mean? So I hear what he's saying because there are people now, let's be clear, there's some
Right.
people that have, look at me, look at me, look what I'm doing, and their
Right.
intentions are not really for the people. It's just for them
Right.
to get some clout or status or
Mm-hmm.
follows or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are those who want to document it to show people, listen, if it happens for them, this could happen for you. It may
Right.
not come through me, but
Right.
you seeing this, you can be inspired, and maybe
Right.
listen, how about this? Maybe it will inspire you to do it for somebody else.
Right. Exactly.
And
Inspire that goodwill to pay it forward just because you saw
exactly,
it. Mm-hmm.
exactly. I hear what he's saying. You can live in the moment, and I get it. And guess what?
Right.
That's his opinion. I'm not even mad
Yep.
at him. Do what
Right.
you gotta do. That's fine. But for those who do video,
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Right. I think there's two sides to every story, right? Like
Yeah,
you said, there's definitely two sides, and there's definitely, a wrong way to do it, and there's a right way to do it. I'm not knocking anyone who's doing it the right way, but at the same time, those who are doing it the wrong way, who they are. Right? You may need to check yourself. But let's get into some more questions. So, what is the best advice you have to give to those who are coming up in the industry behind you?
the same thing I always say. You have to stay true to who you are. You
Yes.
don't seek anybody's validation. You have to know your
Mm-hmm.
worth. Trust your dopeness. I always say that.
Yes.
Um, if you know that God has called you to a thing, you can't let anybody stop you. Now, I understand because there is constructive criticism, and there are people who may want to mentor you, and sometimes you
Yes.
may hear that you may not like. I know
Mm-hmm.
I mentors that I had like, but they were telling me the truth. They were
Mm.
not let your ego get in the
Yeah.
way. Someone, trust me, your spirit will know when
Mm-hmm.
someone telling you for your own good, or if they're knocking you. You can feel that in your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can feel the energy.
yes, you have to always be open. You can't let that ego get away. You have to
Mm-mm.
be take constructive criticism. You have to be true to who you are. If you
Mm.
like and you love what you do, then I love what you do. Guess what?
Yes.
Your audience will, if you stay true to who you are, you'll have an audience. The Bible says your gift makes room for you. So your
Yes.
will make room for you. Trust me. I had to learn that growing up.
Mm.
Um, one who used to seek validation from other people. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm dope. This is, and this is not what,
Hey.
but I know God has given me a gift. I know what I bring to the table, and I'm going to trust my dopeness, and I'm going to stay in my lane and do what I do. And guess what?
Yeah,
I have a whole fan base who loves what Dawn Tallman does.
for
So
sure.
I would just tell y'all and have a listen. If you're a singer, aspiring singer, take some lessons or go on YouTube. You have
Mm-hmm.
to practice that. I'm always practicing my craft. You have to. This voice is an instrument. You have to keep your gift up, like your instrument up, and just take care of yourself. This is not a game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
This is not.
it's not. So if you want to get in this business and you're serious about it, listen. You got to learn. You got to learn business. You got to have people around you that want to see you, go up and higher, and not
Yes.
just some not yes people that just yeah yeah yeah. No, you need people that's going to keep it real with you and keep it
Yes.
100. If you're a young singer, start singing in a choir or start
Mm-hmm.
listening to other genres of outside of what you may not normally sing, because that
Mm-hmm.
help you. That will help you get other gigs, and that will help you just
Yes.
expand your vocal palette, should I say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, that vocal palette. Okay.
Yeah,
Color
listen,
that voice, right?
that's right. So yeah, listen, just stay true to you, man, and just get around someone that has your best interests at heart.
Yes.
And again, know your business, learn, read, study for yourself. That's what the Bible says. Study to show thyself.
Yes.
You have
Shorty,
to
show
study
thyself approved.
yourself. It's business work. People get caught up in the music and they forget about the business.
Yes.
Don't
And it is a business. They say it's
this
show business.
business. People are mean. You know what I'm saying? This business,
Mm-hmm.
I, it's not always easy to be in this business. And if you don't have tough skin, or if you don't know your business, you will get taken advantage of, and it could make you bitter. So listen, please, young artists, even older, or still, I would even say to some that may feel like they're older, it's still
Mm-hmm.
not for you. Trust your dopeness. Do it.
Yes.
The people will follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So awesome. Trust your dopeness. That is, it's such, it should be a mantra for everyone in the industry who is pursuing what they want to pursue. Trust the
Yes.
individual who they are,
Right.
right? Within yourself. Know that you are dope and then work on being doper, right? Because we got to take these singing lessons. We got to study, like you said, study the craft. Study your
That's right.
craft. Study what you're trying to do so you can become the best you at what you do.
Yes, you can't let your ego get in the way and feel like
Mm-mm.
maybe because you can sing better than this one and that one. Remember, it's always somebody that can sing better than you.
Yes.
So you cannot let your ego or
Mm-mm.
whatever get in the way of that. You gotta be humble in this business, because
Yes.
you can be a star today in a trivia question today, not tomorrow, today.
Mm-hmm.
So
Today. Mm.
today, yeah. So you stay humble, and
Yes.
you got to just keep learning, be open to learn, and to always want to take it to the next level, reinvent yourself. That's
Yes.
have to.
We talked about that earlier, staying relevant in the industry and staying with longevity, but still being true to yourself and who you are. But as we
Absolutely.
talked about it, evolving who you
Yes.
are over time. So we talked a little bit about the best piece of advice you would have to give to others in the industry. What's the best piece of advice somebody has given you?
Almost that same thing, what I said.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Yes, just because I was telling you when I was young, I
Mm-hmm.
used to really seek validation. I used to have really low self-esteem, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I would always look for other people's approval. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm until I had to kind of learn and kind of somebody had to kind of snap me out of that. Like, do you know what you really have? Do you know your worth? Do you know who you
Right.
are? First of all, we are God's child, so that alone right there means we're all that in a bag of chips.
Yes.
So yeah, that was the advice for me. Once I really like understood and knew what my worth was, that was it.
Yes.
I just stayed in my lane. I was trying to do
Mm.
so much, I'm going over here trying to see, trying to do this, trying to, okay, now I gotta change. Oh, I gotta do, and then I had to say, no, this is me.
Mm-hmm.
Take it or leave it. Glasses, crooked teeth, thick chick, all of that. You take it or this is my
Right.
hand. And once that happened, girl, the doors really opened up for me. Seriously.
Hey, so exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, you gotta know who you are, right? First of all, and then you have to love who you are, right?
That's right. Love yourself. You
You gotta
have
love
to.
yourself.
People
Because
don't know.
like they said, if you don't love yourself, who will? You know what I mean? You gotta love yourself first.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it really starts from the inside. Like the
Mm-hmm.
voice, cool, having a voice, but if your insides ain't right, trust me, your audience is gonna feel that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be authentic as possible, as you can be. I'm very authentic and transparent. That's a new
Yes.
word with my fans. Like they know what I've gone through. They know my testimony, and
Mm-hmm.
you just got to be true to who you are. That's just how I feel.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. And so let's talk about some of your recent shows, your recent fun stuff we got going on.
Woo!
We met on Clubhouse, right? And
We
you
sure
recently
did.
performed on Clubhouse, Miss
Yeah.
Lady. Yes, just
Yeah.
last Friday you performed in a live version of
Woo!
Dreamgirls, the musical. Yes, as the jazz singer, Miss Lady. So tell us what it was like preparing for the role and performing.
First of all, y'all, that was so God. Um,
Hey.
I and I think I didn't even really know too much about Clubhouse and the things that was going on in
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse. And I went and did this audition. First of all, I didn't even know about audition. And someone said, they're doing auditions on in Clubhouse for Dreamgirls. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just go in the room and just listen and whatever. And the spirit told me to change my profile picture to a headshot. And I was
Mm.
being obedient. And I was like, all right. And I changed it. And I was like, let me just raise my hand now. It's over 5,000. Over the 2 days, it must have been almost 10,000 people that on
So
like.
exciting.
So when I raised my hand, you raise your hand in
Yeah.
Clubhouse,
Mm-hmm.
they actually picked. I was like, oh my God. Like, so I still went through all of the
Hey.
process.
Yes.
Sidebar, y'all, be obedient. That I always tell
Yes.
people, be obedient, because had I not been obedient and been like, God, what you talking about? What? Like I ain't doing that. I ain't gonna, that
Yes.
to trust my dopeness, because
Yes.
always wanted to do Broadway, and
Mm-hmm.
I've never got the opportunity. It was always on my bucket list, and this was something I prayed for. I'm like, yo, God, this is
Hey.
really
So
want to do.
amazing.
So when I got in that room, girl, I was so nervous. I got nervous. I almost guessing myself. Like they were like,
Yes.
Broadway people, you can't, like, and I'm all scared. And the spirit said, nope, raise your hand. And girl, I changed my picture and raised my hand, and they picked me, and the
So
rest was
exciting. The
it
rest is
was
history.
rehearsal for 2 months. And this
Mm.
is definitely something new.
Mhm.
Because it was all audio
Right.
on Clubhouse. So I had to get equipment. I got my studio equipment here, had to learn how to use the equipment, the iRig, and rehearse with the all this new technology. So it was
Mhm.
fun. It was a learning lesson for me, and it stretched me because I feel like this is my training ground for when we open back
Right.
up. I'm like, God,
Yes.
have a way of answering our prayers. Like, he knows exactly what we need, and I feel like that God gave me a test run for what's going to come, because I still believe that I'm going to be on Broadway one day.
Hey, claim that. Speak that into
I,
existence.
yeah, I will be on Broadway one day. Y'all wait and see. And
Yes.
I feel like this was a real training ground. We had a real script. I had to memorize some lines, sing some songs. It wasn't. It was more than just singing. I had to
Right.
really act, and so
Yes.
this stretched me and it prepared me. And I know this is just a little piece, but to rehearse for
Mhm.
much every weekend for hours and hours, it was amazing. And to get to learn and meet other cast, the
Yes.
director, and it it was an amazing experience. I'm
Yes.
just on. And we were featured in Essence magazine. We were featured in Glamour,
Hey.
Broadway, like all these major magazines. This is something I could never pay exposure that I can. It's only
Mhm.
God. It was an
Yes.
amazing experience, y'all. Trust your dopeness. I'm so glad that God kicked in my butt and said, "You better trust your dopeness. You are just as good as these 10,000 people in this room." And I
Mhm.
and girl, and I went for it, and the rest is
The rest
history.
is history. Let's
Yes.
talk about another amazing portion of your history. Let's talk about your new album. Yes.
No.
Tell us what we can come to expect from the new album.
Listen, y'all, this album is called For Me. That's probably why I've been saying For Me all night. But
Yes.
album is called For Me, which is a title track. And the album is out. It's on Honeycomb Music. You can go to honeycombmusicstore.com. I want to shout out to Josh Milan and to Adam Cruz and Honeycomb Music. And this album, you guys, is really my testimony. When this album was written, I like to say when this album was birthed and written, I went through a divorce. It was some real dark, real for me.
Mm,
This album literally delivered me. I mean,
mm,
it really took me out of a place, and it really freed me. So you're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh, like not laugh, but like you're gonna be happy, you're gonna
tears.
right, tears of joy, because you're gonna hear from how I went from this dark space to, I always talk about, like, went from being in a cocoon almost to busting out of that cocoon into a beautiful butterfly. It's
Yes.
really album. The song For Me talks about choosing happiness. We in a
Mhm.
world pandemic.
Yes.
Nobody, no one's happy. People are losing
Mhm.
jobs, have lost jobs. People have died. People are still
Yes.
getting sick, and this could really depress someone. But even
Mhm.
in all of this, we still have a choice, and we can choose to
Yes,
be
we do.
even in this. So that song talks about choosing happiness. There's a song in there that
Mhm.
talks about celebrating yourself. Sometimes,
Mhm.
especially women, we do a lot, and we
Yes.
ourselves on the back. And that song talks about, I applaud me. I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating me. I'm proud. I've come a mighty way from where I used to be, and I'm going to celebrate myself. So let this album bless a lot of people. Some people had cancer. Some people were going through chemo, going through a divorce, going through depression, and said this album literally has like taken them out of, you know, what they were
Yeah.
feeling, going through. So
That's
I,
still what they were going through.
yeah. So you guys check that album out. It is called For Me. It is on all digital platforms. You can go get it. It will really bless your life. And yeah, and also have a new single out that's called Happy, and that's a gospel single. So please check
Hey.
Professor James Fountain featuring myself, Dawn Tallman. So please check it out. It's
It is
amazing.
dope, y'all.
Yeah.
I've listened to the album and I loved it. Don't
Thank you.
don't mind being a little, humble, a little bit modest. You know what I mean? This album is dope. It is the epitome of trusting your dopeness. Okay?
Yes.
Get into it. Y'all need to go to honeycombmusic.com and
Honeycomb Music
support.
Store. Honeycomb Music
Honeycomb
Store.
Music Store.
That's right.
Dot
.com.
com. And
That's
support. Lisa Foster Wilson says, "Hey, Dawn. Thank you so much for
hey,
joining us.
my sister
Thank you
girl.
so much for
Another
joining us."
body.
Yeah, she says, "Dope indeed." Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
she's dope, and I'm gonna listen because it's Women's History Month, so we
Yes.
every day always we should
Yes.
always lift our sisters up. My sister girl has an album out called God's Groove. Y'all go check it out. She is an amazing singer and friend. So yeah.
Yes. We got to shout out all of our sisters. And speaking of sisters, can you tell
Absolutely.
us a little bit about who made your earrings? Because they are gorgeous.
Listen, these are, I think she calls them, these are tassels. They are made out of yarn. And this young lady has a earring place called the Garden Jewelry Store. Look, I gotta show her little.
Yes.
She
Yes.
wait, where is it? Right there. Okay. Woo,
Yep.
woo, look, woo, woo.
Woo-hoo.
She is amazing. You can follow her on Instagram. Um, I think on Instagram it is the Garden Jewelry Store, and of course, black owned sister. She's
Yes,
amazing.
we got to support.
I have the every color, y'all. These are so fly. They are so lightweight, and she is the bomb. And I would also like to talk about my sis because I'm an ambassador for a plus size boutique. Um,
Yes.
courageouslycurvy.com. This is her crown collections. Is fedoras, and her
Hmm.
shirt says "Big Girl, Big Swag." Whoop, whoop.
Hey. Get a shout out and support our black owned businesses, especially those from our
Absolutely.
sisters.
Woo!
For sure. Yes. So
Y'all
tell
go
us what's coming up
out.
next for you, Miss Dawn Tallman. What's coming up next?
Coming up next is I am working on the second album. Woo!
Hey,
And
yeah.
I'm kind of taking not really, but a tiny woo side because Dreamgirls was
Mhm.
like literally 2 months, everything stopped. So
Yes.
now kind of getting back into the swing of things, working on a couple singles and working on my album, and just y'all just look for Dawn Tallman to do more things. We still kind of virtual right now, so
Mhm.
not too many outings or anything like that. We're still kind of
Mhm.
shut. So as far as um that goes, that's kind of
Mhm.
on right now. But just keep looking out for some new music and some new
Yeah.
merch. I'm, I'm expanding
Hey.
my bro. You have to. This pandemic has taught me how to reset, reinvent, remind myself who I am, like all those things. So just look out for the Dawn Tallman brand. Y'all can go to dawntallman.com. I'm just out here trying to make it happen.
Yes. And make it happen. You are. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So,
Thank you.
unfortunately,
And thank
though, we have reached.
you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
shout out on your podcast and everything that you're doing. I pray that God just gives you favor and brings you up, up, up,
you.
up, because we see you too, sis.
I appreciate you. I
Yes,
appreciate you. Thank you so much for that encouragement. I love
yes,
what I do. I love bringing these interviews. I appreciate you.
yes.
So, our last question of the evening, speaking of you and who you are, how would you like to be remembered in the industry and what would you like your legacy to look like?
Woo, that's deep. Um, wow. You know, it still goes beyond. Like, of course, people will say, "Oh, that girl can sing," but I really
Yes.
want a legacy of love, and I want people just to know that she was real. Like she was a giver. She gave back. You know what I mean? I just want to
Mm,
be love. I'm serious. I That's kind
mm,
of who I'm. That bubbly chick who just wants to give back. I'm that loyal chick. I want to say she was a real friend. Like she was a true rider. Um, I definitely want my children to know that their mom, like when she's a full testimony, like going, somewhere low, and with God's help, she lifted herself up out of that. And I need people to see that you can do it too. Like, go through something, but you can come out of that. I just
For
want
sure.
people to say, wow, she touched me. Like she touched others' lives. She motivated people. And that's kind of just where I'm at with it. I don't want to be known for like, oh girl, she turned it out, or she like, it's more than just me singing on stage. That's good. I love that. Thanks.
Right.
I want to be known for a community. I want to be known for just other things outside of music. So
Right. So
I never
awesome.
thought
So
about that
awesome.
question deep like that, but because you're right. You want to leave something behind. Definitely. I
For
want to
sure.
definitely on to my children. And I think that's why I'm here trying to just reinvent myself and think of other ways to pass. You want to pass things down to your, like when
Yes.
I don't want it to just be that. I want it to lead into my children that they can now leave to their children and their children's children. So that's what I'm working on, girl.
Hey, work it out, work it out. So tell us, where can we find support, follow, buy everything on social media and the web?
Everything Dawn Tallman, y'all. Facebook Dawn Tallman, fan page Dawn Tallman, the Queen of Gospel Energy. Twitter at Dawn Tallman. Instagram Dawn Tallman. Clubhouse at Dawn Tallman. And of course, DawnTallman.com. All my music is everywhere. It's on all digital, whatever your favorite music playing site is. You can go there and just type in Dawn Tallman and you'll find whatever you need. You can find
Whatever
it.
you need.
Whatever you need, I'm there. Listen, don't be afraid to hit me up. I answer I answer emails, I answer DMs. I'm that chick. I'm not so high and mighty. I will talk to you. That's just who I am. I'm not so above or high that I can't say hello to you. That may encourage somebody that I said hello,
Yes.
or that I whatever. So that's just me. So y'all can find me. Trust me, I'm everywhere.
Hey, well, we would love to find support, follow, and buy. So y'all do all of the above, okay,
That's
right
right.
after this interview. And while you're at it, please follow Black Truth Media on Facebook, on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Go to blacktruthmedia.com and put in a request if you know someone who you think would be an awesome guest. Right?
Yes.
And then go to the Grownups in the Industry podcast, like our page, follow it, and tune in to all of our interviews weekly on Wednesdays at 6 and 8 p.m. Y'all, this has been an amazing, amazing episode of the Grownups in the Industry podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, Dawn.
You gotta be grown.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be grown. You gotta be grown. You know what I mean? To get on the show, you gotta be grown. No toddlers in the industry over here. Okay, you gotta be grown.
No,
Full grown.
no. No, but
Oh my God.
appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Of course, it's been a true pleasure.
And I will be supporting you as well with that new book, girl.
Thank you. Yes. And for everyone who does not know, I am an author.
What's the name of it?
The name is One Single Lady, a guide to single Christian living. It is a 31-day devotional guide for the single ladies who are looking to develop their relationship with God, their relationship with their sisters, and have a better understanding of the world of men and dating. So y'all need to get into it, okay? I'm engaged. Okay, so I might have a little bit to share. I might have a little bit to share about, this world. So definitely check out the book. It is available on Amazon.
I would be supporting you for sure. This is about supporting. And look, happy Women's History Month. Shout out to all the ladies.
Happy Women's History Month. Yeah, shout out to all the ladies on the live.
Yes, we are making history every day.
Every day. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Whether you're watching the replay or you're watching us live, you are truly
Thank
loved,
you.
supported. Thank you so much for joining, y'all.
Yes.
We are out.
Peace.